broadly speaking, there are three types of approach that we see. And the first is single suite. And this really is where a digital asset management platform perhaps is taking on more of the video management or video distribution responsibility. We would typically expect to find in that scenario is that the tech capabilities of that platform are more extensive and more comprehensive management and processing capability. Jeremy referenced the processing needs of video as well while talking through some of his slides. Storage volume and the way that storage architecture exists as well is something that isn't necessarily as straightforward for video content as it is for still content. So, how do some of these platforms, or how do these vendors look at and configure and cater to some of the different storage architectures that might be more beneficial for users looking to handle larger, weightier, more complex video content types? In the middle here in the teal, there is a hybrid or more integrated approach. And this might be specific to certain types of video content. And the one that springs to mind is that sort of broadcast advertising use case or scenario where you really want to be able to make available or to showcase that type of video content to your marketing or your agency audience. And to do that, you might still decide to create and manage those more complex video content types using specialist applications, but we find a way to potentially take downsampled versions of those large high-resolution video files and to bring along with the files the associated metadata together with them, and to present them in a digital asset management platform so that they're previewable, so that your digital asset management community understands what kind of content has been created, may be available to reuse and adapt, and might then follow a workflow to request access to some of the more raw or editable files, so that again that digital asset management objective of reuse of content is being supported by taking this approach. Yes, okay, there's a little bit of latency when it comes to how quickly one might be able to retrieve that content through a request process. But that content visibility makes it at least possible for users to understand what might be there to reuse. So again, pros and cons with each of these different approaches. And the final one, which in my mind is certainly more applicable in context where video is the product. So thinking about Jeremy's experience with NBCU springs to mind. This really is about maintaining distinct applications and sources of truth that support the creation, the management, and the distribution of these different content types. Some of the advantages there are that you don't necessarily need the level of technical or data integration that you might have with the hybrid option, but you are accepting that there is potentially reduced visibility to the user community that focuses on stills or doesn't necessarily focus on that content type. And for users that do use both, it requires sort of a dual competency in understanding what is where and how to use those applications.